a real sense.
Yeah. And I was like trying not to fall asleep. And she's like, an internet cafe? Like, why were you there at 3 a.m? And he's like, don't worry about it.
I'm kind of homeless-ish.
And then we're at the park. And I was just right down, this Lamaze lady should not trust Jenna and Casey with her child.
No, especially since she's someone with like a million rules.
And he is apparently...
She's like, I'm not a helicopter parent, but also don't let him play with toys that have synthetic materials, which are like
she's
all
like a
toys.
hippie parent, and she's saying that Caleb he's not shy. We don't use the S word. He's conversationally selective, which I kind of love that term now.
Honestly, that's great.
Because I feel like I'm conversationally selective, and
correct.
I'm going to use that now.
You should. I like it a lot. I am not conversationally selective. But I do like that as a term.
You're conversationally unbiased.
It's true.
I don't know.
It's true. True fact. I overextend, I would say. I'm overly conversational.
But then... Oh, and then they break into Allie's computer, and her diary is like on her notes app on her computer.
And also it's all in Comic Sans and all lowercase.
And she's like, I hate Drew. Or no, she's like, I don't know.
Big fight with Sav.
Yeah.
It just made me think of like
nobody
my
would miss me if I leave or something like that. And then we're back at the park and Jenna's singing. And I'm just like, Jenna, this child does not want to hear you sing, because I definitely don't want to hear you sing. And then he just kicks Casey, which I thought was funny. And then he starts screaming.
Listen, that's how I feel anytime I watch Casey and Jenna. I just want to kick Casey and start screaming.
I feel it. I feel you, Caleb.
Me and Caleb, I feel it like.
And then he screams until he gets a hot dog.
Yeah. I mean,
I get it.
I think we both really heavily identify with Caleb in this episode.
I get it, man.
I just want a hot dog and to kick Casey in the shins.
Seriously.
And sometimes you just gotta scream.
Yeah. Especially if Jenna's singing. Like, make sure that stops.
Like, hard pass on the Jenna singing. No, thank you. Also, why is that a weird trope? I feel like that happened on Glee, too, one time.
What?
This, like, let's tame the child with song.
Oh, God.
This
probably.
is a thing that has happened. I've seen it. It is not a thing that works in life, though, I'm sure. I feel like when I was a kid, if someone was like, here, I'll make you calm down by singing you a song, I'd be like, no.
I'd be like, not hug bye. Especially if it's like your babysitter.
Yeah.
If you already are like acting out with a babysitter, nothing is going to help that unless like your parents come home or they give you food or something.
Although
them playing on the guitar is not going to help.
I actually never had babysitters.
Really?
I've never once in my life had a babysitter because both of my grandparents, like all of my grandparents lived near me.
Okay.
So I always was just given to whatever grandparent was free.
I definitely had babysitters, especially being a child of divorce. We had so many babysitters. But yeah, we were kind of assholes to babysitters a lot. We were bad. We were terrible.
I was a babysitter. Can confirm.
Yeah.
Kids are assholes.
God, I hated babysitting.
We've
probably have had this conversation before.
We definitely have.
Okay, but then Fitz shows up to Allie's house and it's like raining and he's bleeding.
Yeah, he's bleeding and he's all bruised and it's a time. And he's
And
being real cagey about it.
Oh yeah. And then like
he says he fell off his bike.
Right. But he's like bruised on his like side. He's like bruised and he's like, oh, I fell off my bike, whatever. Can I come in and use your phone or dry off or whatever? And Allie's like, okay, fine, whatever. And then, or Clara's, I might have said Allie. Then we're with Sav and his dad and they're like, they're like driving down the streets of Toronto looking for Allie. And
his dad is like being kind of a dick about it.
Yeah.
He's like definitely more angry than he is worried. Like I think he's a healthy mix of both, but like the anger is definitely what's coming out.
And Sav is like trying to talk sense to the brick wall that is his dad, but it's like not really getting through. But then Fitz is getting real comfortable at Claire's house.
And she is freaking out, rightfully so.
And she's like, you need to tell me why you're here. And he's like, my stepbrother hates me and he's a drug addict, so home isn't great. And I'm like, you're still creepy though.
He's still being a big creep. And also like, Honestly, I kind of agree with his stepbrother, Steve, because I don't want someone coming at me with Jesus stuff. Like, he's like, once I got back from juvie, they were way worse to me. I'm like, yeah, because you keep trying to save them.
Ugh, God.
And also, I think the line was like, the only thing that Steve doesn't hate are the drugs in his pipe. And I was like, this is so needlessly dramatic.
Also, Fitz cannot deliver these lines.
He cannot. What is this actor?
I don't know. He's bad. But then we're back with Casey and Jenna, and they're like, don't tell your mom we gave you a hot dog. And then he immediately tells her that they gave them a hot dog.
Immediately.
And then the mom's like, I need to go perform a holistic cleanse on my child. I'm leaving.
She's a nightmare.
Yeah. And then they're like, whatever, we're going to be fine. And then they say Big Daddy again, and I hate it.
I hate that. No more Big Daddy, please.
And then we're with Fitz, and he's like, you know, the only thing that got me through juvie, you, like I always like found a place in my mind, and you were there. And I'm like, ew, Claire was in his mind palace. What is going on? I hated it.
Mind palace. Also, yeah, no, weird. He's been like weirdly fixated on her since like the beginning.
Yeah.
Though. Like, this has been like
a
weird.
We have a spiritual connection.
No, you don't.
I'm like, no. And
nah,
then
dog.
Eli comes in, and Claire like tries to hide Fitz, but it doesn't work.
It's not a good. That's not a good look though. Like Eli coming in, and she's like, "Hurry out the back door!" Like,
yeah, it's not good.
No, that looks.
And
suspect.
he's like, real mad. And then what's happening?
She's talking to both of them, and she's like, you know, sometimes you can want to help people. And he's like, what are you saying? I'm a heartless monster? And she's like, well, sometimes.
And it's like, okay.
Well, it's not great.
And then Eli leaves, and then she's like, you need to call your father, priest, man, whatever. Your chaplain, Father Greg.
Father Greg. That's a real youth pastor kind of name.
And then Father Greg comes and picks him up, and I'm like, yeah, go fuck off with Father Greg. Bye. And oh my God. And then then Eli's still like sitting in his car in front of Claire's house.
Just dramatically like head
just like
in
head
hands.
on the steering wheel.
Yep.
There's like some dramatic acoustic guitar music playing. And I just wrote, they're so fucking dramatic. Like, so Claire goes in the car, and they're talking, and he's like, don't leave me, okay? Please, promise me you'll never leave me. And she's like, I promise. And I'm like, this is so unhealthy.
It's not good. Also, like, you can't make that kind of promise. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
Also, like, don't leave me is so, like, just so fucking dramatic.
Oh, it's bad. And then we're at Sav's house, and the police are finally here. And they like find surveillance video of Allie like getting in a strange car, and they're like, she's being abducted. And I'm like, guys, it's probably Johnny DeMarco.
Probably. Although I did write, oh shit, was Allie abducted? But also like the surveillance footage is like from like across the street from her high school. I'm like, she's still hanging around her high school like after being like after escaping. I don't know.
But then the episode ends in a real creepy way.
Yep.
With Eli being like, guess what? I changed my story, and it's so good.
The ending's different now. And she's like, does he kill the like stalker guy? And he's like, no, he kills the girlfriend. And then like has just this scary face.
And
Claire looks
it's like an Azor Ahai, like Game of Thrones type of thing, where he's like, he loves her so much, so he has to kill her. And it's creepy as fuck.
And Claire's like, oh no, he's gonna murder me.
And then
I'm also like, oh no, Claire, he's gonna murder you.
He literally says, it's all about you, Claire. And then he calls her Milady, and then the episode ends.
Oh no, I missed the Milady.
He called her Milady.
Oh my God.
I hated it. It was so bad.
I do not care for Milady. Hashtag never forget that time that guy on Tinder said Milady to me.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's just
this episode was so weird.
But Eli is like clearly losing his goddamn mind.
Oh yeah, he's spiraling.
This is not good.
So
I'm worried for Claire's safety.
Spirit Squad captain Sav?
Sure.
I don't know. He's still worried about Allie and her general well-being. Sure.
Drew for being a good drummer.
Sure.
Caleb for knowing all of our feelings.
Yes. Spirit Squad captain is Caleb for sure.
Obviously.
For kicking Casey in the shins. All right. Ship
No one.
Nobody. Drew and Bianca, because we saw them for 5 seconds.
I do love Drew and Bianca.
Moral. Go to therapy.
Just do it.
You need help. Everybody on the show needs
Everyone
help.
go to therapy. Also, don't be overprotective and weird and gross.
Yeah. Be more trusting. That can go with everybody. Just be more trusting of people who you love in your life. Give them the benefit of the doubt. That's
Everybody.
what it's about.
Everybody. Oh, good rhyme.
I didn't even mean to.
It was sweet, though. Put it on acrostic.
Great. All right. Grapevine.
We have some emails. So we have this one from Amethyst Beloved. And it says, "Hey, Queens. I'm having the best time listening to Season 10. And the last 2 episodes with your guests were especially entertaining." We love having guests. I know it's not the easiest thing to coordinate with busy schedules all around, so I appreciate the effort that everyone puts in. Thank you. All right. I noticed that you'll be wrapping up the season in a couple of weeks, and I wanted to make sure that you know that there's a Season 11 trailer, which happens to be my personal favorite. I hope that you'll be able to watch it for the first time at the end of your podcast for Drop the World and give us your thoughts. It hints at certain things, but it's not as spoilery as Shark in the Water. Enjoy and have a good hiatus week that's coming up soon. Well, we had an accidental hiatus week due to...
We might not... We'll have to figure out if we're actually doing a hiatus
I know. We might not need to just because
we just had one.
We just had one spontaneously, so...
Because Kelsey was deathly ill.
Oh my God, I was so sick. I was like literally fucking crazed with fever. I was like a different person. But yeah, we will of course watch the Season 11 trailer. I'm stoked.
Thank you for sending that, though.
Thank you. And thank you for the email. And yeah, I feel like we're probably not going to do a hiatus week.
No, I don't think we should.
we
already did that to them unexpectedly.
We're fine.
But we have another email from Andrea, and the subject is "A Message to the Queens from a Girl in Queens." And she says, "Hi, Holland and Kelsey. This is the first time I've ever written into a podcast, so here it goes. I absolutely love your podcast. I live in Queens, and I spend most of my mornings stuck with subway delays, and your voice is in my ear."
Girl, we know that subway delay life.
I also have a boring desk job, and you both help to get me through the day. I love hearing your options on the beloved, or your opinions on the beloved old episodes. Following along with you through the strange world of Season 10 is the best. A few months ago, I was watching The Breakfast Club with a friend, and for some reason I thought of the Degrassi episode. I asked my friend if she remembered it, and she said, "Sort of, but that show was weird." Knife to the heart, I know. A few days later, I thought about it again and decided to get a little nostalgic and watch that episode on YouTube. Jimmy and Hazel, the start of Sean and Ellie, and oh, Toby. Sure, it was different watching it with adult eyes, but I was still loving it. Right after watching, I thought there must be a podcast on this, and there you were. I was hooked right away. Your insights are always on point, and I'm very guilty of going off on tangents, so I can always relate. I was also a terrible child in high school, so I love hearing your tales. Let's just say I would have been friends with Jay and Alex and would have spent most of my weekends at the Ravine.
Girl, I feel you.
I went to Catholic school, and my dad is a cop, so that should explain a lot. After watching the one episode, I decided a few more couldn't hurt, and here I am now in Season 10. I have many feelings. I miss the OGs, but I do have a soft spot for Claire, Allie, Sav, and of course, Holly J. I need to keep watching to finish their stories, and let's be honest, I need to know your thoughts as well. I just wanted to write in and thank you for making my commute and my workdays more enjoyable. Wanted to leave you with a few overall thoughts on Seasons 1 through 10. You do not have to read them all, but I wanted to throw them out there to some people who understand.
We're going to read them all.
We always read everything. I cannot look at Drake without thinking about the scream he let out after being shot. Also, the mean mugging he does just before it. Granted, he had a gun in his face. I struggled with Emma for a long time. I wanted to like her because she was the literal OG and because her and Manny are gold, but she is so annoying. Everything around her is so dramatic. Ellie was everything I wanted to be in high school. I modeled several of my real-life outfits after her former emo kid here. What they did to her in the college years was so dirty, and I hate those writers for it. The Hollywood movie made up for it a bit, but I'm still bitter. Also, I love the song Craig sings her. I have it on my phone and will gladly admit that to anyone because it is a good song. Manny, I just love her. Plus, her relationship with Jay gives me so much joy, and honestly, like you said, the most real chemistry there. Can they just come back, please? I wish.
Right? Seriously?
The early 2000s fashion was real scary, and I do not miss it at all. Wow. Season 4 was real dark, but I loved it. This is when I really believed the "it goes there" tagline. Darcy and Spinner were always a weird couple to me. Paige and Alex, ugh, so good. Loved them. JT and Liberty giving up their baby broke my damn heart. Season 6 was really weird. I did love how they handled the Darcy situation. I think that was season 6, but I might be off.